Namaste and welcome you all. In this session, we will talk of Inform Civil Code. Inform Civil Code is there in the news. ये चर्चा में है और from time to time, Inform Civil Code has also been the area of debate and discussion. Recently, Uttarakhand government has passed the bill of Inform Civil Code. Now, Goa is the only state in our country जहाँ पे Inform Civil Code है. Next to Goa now, Uttarakhand is the second state in our country. ये Inform Civil Code कहने का अर्थ हुआ कि अपने देश में एक ही कानून, आप देखते हैं विशेषकर मैरिज के इश्यूज होते हैं, डाइवोर्स होते हैं, एज की बात होती है, पॉलिनरी की बात होती है, लिविंग रिलेशनशिप की बात आती है, तो काफ़ी इश्यूज आते हैं. और जब इश्यूज सॉल्व नहीं हो पाते हैं तो नेचुरली इट इज़ देयर इन द सुप्रीम कोर्ट इन आवर कंट्री. That is the ultimate apex body to hear and give the justice. And that's why it is the imperative of the hour to have Inform Civil Code in our country. Now come to, कोई पूछे आपसे कि Inform Civil Code क्या है? Understand? The Inform Civil Code is defined in our Constitution, हमारे संविधान में, under the Article 44 of Directive Principles of State Policy. It states that it is the duty of the states to secure for the citizens a uniform civil code throughout the territory of India. In other words, we can say that it means one country, one rule. एक देश, एक कानून, जो सभी धर्म, समुदाय या हर एक नागरिक के लिए हो. Now let us discuss the advantages and the disadvantages of Inform Civil Code and more facts related to Inform Civil Code, right? So Inform Civil Code at a glance. The issue of the Inform Civil Code has emerged into India's political discourse recently, mainly because many Muslim women affected adversely by the personal laws have begun knocking on the doors of the Supreme Court to uphold their fundamental rights to equality and liberty in keeping with constitutional provisions, right? The Union Law Ministry has recently asked the Law Commission to examine the matters about the implementation of the Inform Civil Code. What does this mean? Wants to repeat. The Inform Civil Code in India proposes to replace the personal laws based on the scriptures and customs of each major religious community in the country with a common set of guarding every citizen. Now come to the historical perspectives on यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड. जो हमारा बैकग्राउंड्स है उस पर थोड़ा हम नज़र डालें. पहला, let us see the thing during British rule. There was a lack of, I'm talking to the British era, there was a lack of uniformity in civil matters as personal laws based on religious customs and traditions were recognized for different communities. The idea of a uniform civil code emerged as a response to this fragmentation and as a means to promote a common civil identity. Now come to the days of Portuguese rule. When Goa was under Portuguese rule, पुर्तगालियों का जब शासन था गोवा में, until 1961 1961 तक, a uniform civil code based on the Portuguese Napoleonic code was implemented. Nehruvian vision. Come to the Nehruvian vision. Jawaharlal Nehru envisioned a modern and progressive India and saw the uniform civil code as an essential element of nation building. Jawaharlal Nehru believed that a uniform civil code would help eliminate divisions based on the religion and promote equality among citizens. Now come to the Hindu Code Bill. The Hindu Code Bill sought to codify and modernize Hindu personal laws relating to marriage, divorce, adoption, and inheritance. It was seen as a step towards a uniform civil code as it aimed to bring uniformity in personal laws within the Hindu community. Then come to Shah Bano case. 1985, the Supreme Court judgment in this case sparked debates on the need for uniform civil code to ensure gender justice and equal rights for women across religious communities. So here is the Hindu Code Bill, and now here is the reference of Shah Bano case 1965. Now come to the provision in the Indian Constitution for Uniform Civil Code. The Constitution has a provision for Uniform Civil Code in Article 44 of the Active Principles of State Policy, I told you in the beginning, which states that the state shall endeavor to secure for the citizens a uniform civil code throughout the territory of India. After its liberation in 1961, Goa retained the Portuguese Civil Code, making it the only state to have an uniform civil code for all religions. Now come to 1924, that is the 2024, this year. Uttarakhand Assembly has passed the Uniform Civil Code Bill. Hence, this becomes the first state in the country after independence to adopt Uniform Civil Code, जिसके तहत जो भी धर्म के लोग होंगे देश के अंदर, वह जो मैरिज एज जो होगा वो आपका मिनिमम गर्ल्स के लिए 18 और बॉयज़ के लिए 21, फिर लिव इन रिलेशनशिप के लिए भी वहाँ पे प्रोविज़न दिए गए, डाइवर्स संबंध में भी है. सो दिस पे इन 2024 Uttarakhand becomes the first state after the independence to have the Uniform Civil Code. Now the constitutional mandate, Article 44 says that The state shall endeavour to secure for citizens uniform civil code throughout the territory of India. Objective, इसका उद्देश्य क्या है? The bill proposes a common law on marriage, just I told you, मैंने बताया आपको, on marriage, divorce, land property and inheritance for all citizens, irrespective of their religion in Uttarakhand. Provision of the Uniform Civil Code Bill don't apply to tribal communities. Bill aims to regulate living relationships. Bill prohibits bigamy or marriages with more than one person, etc. Now have a glance of the advantages of the Uniform Civil Code. Advantage is to provide equal status to all citizens. To provide equal status to all citizens. And next, in the modern era, a secular democratic republic should have common civil and personal laws for its citizens, irrespective of their religion, class, caste, gender, etc. To promote gender parity, these are their advantages. It is commonly observed that personal laws of almost all religions are discriminatory towards women. Men are usually granted upper preferential status in matters of succession and inheritance. A uniform civil code will bring both men and women to par. Very important point. Next advantage, to accommodate the aspirations of the young people. Contemporary India is a new society with 55% of its population being below 25 years of age. The social attitudes and aspirations are shaped by universal and global principles of equality, humanity, and modernity. Their view of sharing identity based on any religion has to be given serious consideration to utilize their full potential for nation building. To support the national integration, it will also promote national integration. All Indian citizens are already equal before the court of law as the criminal laws and other civil laws except personal laws are the same for all. With the implementation of the Uniform Civil Code, all citizens will share the same set of personal laws. There will be no scope for politicization of issues of discrimination or concessions or special privileges enjoyed by a particular community based on their particular religious personal laws. Next point, all these points are all the advantages of Uniform Civil Code. To bypass the contentious issues of reform, existing personal laws, जो विवाद आ जाते हैं, जो भी हमारा पर्सनल लॉज है उसके कारण विवाद आते हैं, वो सब भी समाप्त हो जाएगा. Existing personal laws mainly based on the upper class patriarchal notions of the society are in all religions. The demand of Uniform Civil Code is normally made by the aggrieved women as a substitute for existing personal laws. As patriarchal, orthodox people still deem the reforms in personal laws will destroy their sanctity and oppose it profusely. Now come to the, you can call it as the disadvantages, और कह सकते हैं कि जो भी एक आशंकाएं अभी भी है वो इस पे बात है. तो now come to the disadvantages or the cons of the Uniform Civil Code. Number one, particular difficulties due to diversity in India, because India is a country of continental dimension and there is a big diversity among the people with respect to religion, taste, etc. So practical difficulties may creep due to diversity in India. A second point, perception of Uniform Civil Code as encroachment on religious freedom, inheritance of state in personal matters, sensitive, tough task, and time is not yet suitable for this reform. So these are the disadvantages, so-called the cons of the Informed Civil Code. Practical difficulties due to diversity in India. It is practically tough to come up with a common and uniform set of rules. For personal issues like marriage, due to the tremendous cultural diversity in India across regions, sex, caste, etc. Perceptions of Informed Civil Code as encroachment on religious freedom. Many communities, particularly minority communities, perceive Informed Civil Code as an encroachment on their rights to religious freedom. They fear that a common code will neglect their traditions and impose rules that will be mainly dedicated to and influenced by the majority of religious communities. Interference of a state in personal laws. The Constitution provides for the right to freedom of religion of one's choice. With the codification of informed rules and its compulsion, the scope of the freedom of religion will be reduced. Now come to the sensitive and tough task. Such a code in its true aspect must be brought about by borrowing freely from different personal laws, making gradual changes in each, issuing judicial pronouncements assuring gender equality, and adopting expansive interpretations on marriage, maintenance, adoption, and succession by acknowledging the benefits that one community secures from the others. This task will be a very demanding time and human resource wise. The government should be sensitive and unbiased at each step while dealing with the majority and minority communities. Otherwise, it might turn out to be more distresses in the form of communal violence. Time is not yet suitable for this. There is one echo from some corners that the time is not yet suitable for this reform. Considering the major opposition from the Muslim communities in India over this issue, overlapping with controversies over beef, saffronization of school and college curriculum, love jihad, and the silence emanating from the top leadership on these controversies. There needs to be given sufficient time for instilling confidence in the communities. Otherwise, these efforts towards common will be counterproductive, leaving the minority class, particularly Muslims, more insecure and vulnerable to get attracted towards fundamentalist and extremist ideologies. To conclude, at the end of the day, an Informed Civil Code can only emerge throughout an evolutionary process which preserves India's rich legal heritage, of which all the personal laws are equal constituents. Next point, the codification and implementation of Informed Civil Code may not necessarily usher in the expected equality among genders and religions. Next point, major synthesization efforts are needed to reform current personal law reforms, which should first to be initiated by the communities themselves. Next point, current institutions need to be modernized, democratized, and strengthened for this change, since efforts towards women's empowerment have to be taken for all women of the religions. The plural democracy is an identity of modern India. Therefore, the efforts should be focused on harmony in plurality rather than blanket uniformity for a flourishing Indian democracy. So this way, you have seen a very brief account of the Informed Civil Code. Informed Civil Code gives us the better code for the people of different communities or religious sects to live together and to say no to any type of crisis, controversies, litigations as regards the marriage, inheritance, living relationship, etc. Thanks for giving me a patience listening. Thank you very much.